Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You are in the Prog Corner, and nothing's gonna keep us down. Not bad comments, not unsubscribing people, not declining view counts. We don't play that game here. We just talk about the prog rock. And today we're gonna be reviewing a new album by a retro prog outfit. It's their first album, but these guys are kind of the descendants of the great Astra, which was a San Diego band that put out a couple of albums. Their first album came out in 2009, The Weirding, and then 3 years later in 2012, they put out their masterpiece, The Black Chord. Both of those albums are really, really good. We've been waiting 10 years for the third Astra album, and apparently we're never going to get it. But what we have instead is this new band called Birth. Two guys from Astra, the two main guys. You've got Connor Riley on keyboards, and he's the singer. You got Brian Ellis, who's the guitar player. Astra had a second singer and a second keyboard player, not here. And they have a new rhythm section, different drummer, different bass player. On this record, we've got Trevor Mast on bass. He came from a band called Paper Forest. And Paul Maroney's on drums. He came from a band called Radio Moscow. And if my information's correct, Paul is already out of the band, and they have a new drummer called Thomas De Benedetto. I don't know how true that is, but we're talking about this new album by Birth called Born. What's it like? Is it really the third Astra album, or is this something completely different? First off, you got to take a look at the name of the band and the album. Is this something new? Are we really, it's almost ironic because this band is so retro. They are straight out of 1969, 1970. It's a proto-prog kind of feel, whereas Astra kind of felt like they were residing in 1972 or 1973, a little more symphonic, a little denser. I think the fact that they're now down to a four-piece definitely streamlines their sound, and they did go back a couple years, so this stuff here has got that bluesy kind of feel that you heard in early Jethro Tull, yet you've got some early Pink Floyd and Genesis kind of stuff. You hear Uriah Heep, you hear Black Sabbath. It's just a really cool amalgamation of different sounds. These guys, like I said, are from San Diego. Not a whole lot of great bands out of San Diego. As I think about the history of that town, you had Iron Butterfly, you had Stone Temple Pilots, Drive Like Jehu, and now you've got this one here. You can add them to the list of great bands out of the San Diego area. What is the deal here? Well, this album is fairly short. It's under 40 minutes. And the first thing that I noticed, besides, there's only two guys from Astra in there, is that there are no epics here. Both of Astra's albums led with an instrumental and then went into the second track with an epic. There's no epic here. The longest song here is like 9.5 minutes. But if you think about the time frame that we're aping here, it does make sense because the sidelong epic was not really a thing in 1969 or 1970, whereas you got a couple years down the road, everybody was doing the sidelong epics and the super long songs. So it does track with what they're trying to do. Absolutely. Let's talk about some of these songs. It starts out with the title track called Born, and it's really cool slice of ELP or Atomic Rooster sound and stuff. Some people have complained that they don't like this song. I love it. I think it's really cool. It starts with this fantastic riff that you will never forget. It'll be stuck in your head. These triplets or sexlets that they're playing on the keyboard. Really cool stuff. It actually starts out in 13/8 time. So, if you're wondering how prog these guys are, well, they're starting in 13/8 time. They're fairly prog. The second track, Descending Us, is 7 minutes long. And here's another thing. That first song's in E minor. Every single song on this album is in a minor key. So it definitely adds to the kind of gloomy nature of what's going on here. That first song was in E minor. This one's in A minor. It starts out with a guitar melody and a mellotron in the background, and it's really cool. It's got a really nice feel to it. And then the acoustic guitar comes in, kind of makes you think of early King Crimson or early ELP. You almost half expect Greg Lake to start singing on this thing. The chorus is a little more psychedelic, a little less prog, and then out of nowhere, these Black Sabbath power chords come up. It adds a really cool feel to that song. The third song is the longest song on here. It's called For Yesterday. And, without any kind of irony, they're singing about yesteryears. It starts out with a very George Joe-like mellotron with a clean guitar playing this particular lick, and then it gets really languid and the mellotron's playing some flute, and it makes me realize there's no flute player in this band, where Astra, I guess the drummer, played flute. So they're using like a flute sound on the mellotron, which kind of makes me think again of that early King Crimson kind of stuff. And then a whole Pink Floyd spacey section. These guys are definitely, they've got space rock in their DNA, a little Hawkwind. And then the acoustic guitar starts up again, and he starts singing. And like I said, without even a speck of irony, this guy's singing this song here. And if we are in love, be careful what you say. Can't go back in time and live for yesterday. No irony at all. These guys, they don't even know what they're doing, it sounds like. They're living in this bubble, this vacuum. And I kind of dig it. There's another song on here called Another Time. So I don't know if they're like playing games with me or not, but it kind of sounds like they are. After that, there's a keyboard section, and then there's like a freak out section where there's some more Pink Floyd-y kind of stuff, and then there's a guitar solo. It's a cool song. Does it warrant being 9 minutes? I don't know, but the next song, the first song on side 2, continues in the same key, D minor. So it almost feels like part 2 to that song. This is another instrumental. It's very, very cool because it's in this really odd time signature, and it starts out with this Genesis-like ostinato. It definitely got some good drumming on this track. Paul Maroney does a really nice job keeping things super interesting. Overall, side 2 of this album is more proggy than side 1. The next song is that aforementioned Another Time, another song in a minor key. This is an A minor. It starts out with some clean guitar, and then you got some vocals. Mellotron comes in, just dominates the song, and it makes me again think of Crimson, but also a band called Gracious, very similar in some ways, or maybe like a Dark Star Castle here. Very atmospheric, and then there's a really cool rocking section at the end of the song in 14/8 time that's just phenomenal, and then the song really abruptly ends. And that leads us to the final song that starts out with this really bizarre sound. I can't figure out what it is. I know there's a mellotron, but then there's some really weird, whiny thing, really high pitch that's bizarre. The song's in A minor. There's a serpentine guitar figure that I think is in 21/8 time. And it's, again, that bluesy kind of thing going on, making me think of maybe a little bit like Hendrix. And then it goes into a little like a math rock section in 11/8. And then there's a freak out. And then the mellotron comes back with that same riff that was played earlier by the guitar. And now the guitar's playing a guitar solo over the top of it. And then it just ends and the album's over. What do I think about this thing? Well, I really like it. I loved Astra. I was a big fan of theirs. This album is good. I like it better than the first Astra album. I don't think I like it as much as the Black Chord, but it's growing on me. If you would ask me a week ago how I felt about this record, I probably would have shrugged my shoulders and given you a meh. But I am here to tell you this is a fantastic record. What am I going to score it? What's the score here? I'm giving this bad boy 4 stars. It's totally worthy of your time, totally worthy of your energy to investigate this new band. They're really cool. They're called Birth. The album's called Born. I love it. It's cool. And this will definitely be a factor in a lot of people's year-end lists. Anyway, yeah, I had a rough day yesterday. I had all these people dropping out, losing subscribers, view counts going down, people arguing with me about who the greatest prog singer of all time was. I'm not going to let it get me down. I know who my real fans are. I know who loves the Prog Corner and who does not. If you're just here to snipe from the sidelines, you can hit that unsubscribe button right now. We don't need you in here. Actually, we do. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notifications bell. Do all that stuff. We are actually trying to grow this channel so that we can bring prog rock to the masses. Anyway, I love you guys. Maybe next week will be a better week for your boy, but we shall see. Hopefully I'll still have my hair, but I will definitely still have my spirit. No one can break that. You know that. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the hippity hoppity flippity floppity. Peace.